100 gambler.
Now, back to Cofield and Company, live from Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas.
John Gruden, his name being mentioned near anything should cause shame eternally for everyone involved with that league. The idea that that can be recycled into something after what that has done publicly, just because he smirks and is charming, and we're in a different America than we were when he was the highest paid face and voice at ESPN on behalf of football enthusiasm.
Levitard, that sounded like a lot more than just Gruden and his comments upset Levitard. That sounded a little more personal. Griffin, you're the one who found the story today of Levitard saying John Gruden should not be considered for a head coaching job. What do you think of those comments?
I thought they were, I don't want to say outdated, but it just sounded to me like Levitard does not really believe in second chances, even though he says it in the clip. I think John Gruden, is getting a lot of. It's a popular name going around just because of his deal with Barstool and maybe creating a little comeback with his videos and everything, and that's coming into his hype of getting a coaching job. If somebody wants to hire him as a coach, I mean, second chances, people can learn, people can change. I think if he has the opportunity, he should be able to do it.
I mean, I've probably brought this up before, but there's an old Jimmy Johnson thing where like a guy fell asleep in a meeting and he cut him. And they're like, "Why'd you cut him?" He's like, "Oh, he fell asleep." And they're like, "What if Michael Irvin fell asleep?" They're like, "Oh, I'd wake him up." Different people get treated differently. I don't think Gruden is a good enough coach to where you can have that kind of baggage and take him on. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't deal with it. If it was Ben Johnson, no, or somebody who I thought was going to be a hot new coach, or somebody who I really wanted on my team, maybe I would look past some stuff and give him a second chance. I know that sounds horrible, but I don't think it's good enough to deal with that kind of stuff.
Nothing else, Griffin?
Sorry, I just want to show respect to our country. I think
you had your hat on the whole time.
I did. Like we said, bad hairline, you know how that goes.
By the way, don't take that. I busted his chops a little bit. Greg, you know this. Don't take it personally.
Not personally. No, not at all. If you can't bust balls on the show's not worth watching.
Exactly. You don't have to keep your hat on all the time. You want to come in and go with, your normal head. It's fine. It's not like we're, our videos aren't rated on the looks of the show. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God for you guys.
I think, what's funny on this? I think, how many full heads of hair do we have in the cast? Oh, you know what I thought of this? Well, I guess I won't say what I thought of it. Adam Hill is mostly, I think it's receded a little bit, but he's got good thick locks, as they put it.
I think Danny still has his hair.
Danny does?
I think so.
I don't know.
He's not bald, is he?
Well, balding?
Is he? I don't know.
He wears a hat all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know if that's why. I thought he just.
That man, Danny's got a beautiful head of hair. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw it.
He was naked. I caught him.
Yeah. You're talking about his head, right?
Clearly, Nye and Alex, they're in great shape.
I don't know. I never met Nye, but yes, Alex has hair for sure.
Yeah. And then Willie, I don't know what would happen if Willie grew it out. I don't think there'd be much. He shaves it bald.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to do that at some point?
What, shave it bald?
I was asking Griffin.
Oh, I was going to say I am bald.
I'm going to get a haircut. If it looks like crap, then we're going shaved head. But if I can pull it off a little bit, maybe a year or two more.
I went really short. I don't know. I think I said 1.5 blade, and then she did like a half. She was shaving everything, and I got out, and I'm like this. Because I didn't have to go back. I haven't gone back. I haven't gone back in 6 weeks. I'm like, this is sprinkled with a lot of budget.
I thought you had hair, though.
The problem is it's the back.
Oh.
There's a giant bald spot, yeah.
Yeah, like that skimionica skin thing.
So we're all, who am I missing? There's got to be someone, there's another male on the show with good hair. We have so many contributors to the freaking show. Now our guests mostly have good hair.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we book any bald people, or are we actually anti-balders?
The bald men who hate bald men. It's a sick little cycle.
That's right.
I think we have a bunch of bald people who do the show, but I can't think of it right. I'm going to look down the rundown here. By the way, we were on the air the last 4.5 minutes. We know that.
Oh, I didn't know that, but it's fine.
You didn't? It was just,
I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest.
Thank God you didn't cuss. Coming up, Brett Powers giving us picks for the game tonight. Rest of the CFP this week, wildcard weekend, and some offseason college football news.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fat. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
This is JT for Grimaldi's New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza. 4 locations in the Valley, Summerlin in Boca Park, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on Rainbow, and in Green Valley on Eastern Avenue. Grimaldi's, the best pizza I've ever had.
New year, new car. Now at Finley Volkswagen in Henderson, you can drive a new all-electric 2024 ID4 standard rear-wheel drive for $149 a month for a 24-month lease after a $7,500 EV lease bonus. Find your vibe at finleyvw.com.
For highly qualified customers to Volkswagen Credit, $9.99 to its Sunday excludes tax, title, license, options, and dealer fees. Limited inventory available and not all customers will qualify. See dealer for complete details. Offer expires 1/31/25.
Catch your favorite games at Chickies and Pete's, ESPN's #1 sports bar at the all-new Sahara Las Vegas. Enjoy world-class food and exciting drink specials with 20 beers on tap. With over 50 screens and a massive sound system, every play becomes an epic adventure. Discover Sahara Las Vegas, home to award-winning dining, chic lounges, a stunning casino, and free parking always. Visit SaharaLasVegas.com for more info.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. When you need an injury lawyer, who are you really hiring? I'm not an actor or a business guy masquerading as a lawyer on some billboard. If you hire me, you get me.
More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-889-5566, 800-889-5566, 800-889-5566.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn a $50 bonus bet on top of your original $50 or more deposit and wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today, and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features live and play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is JT for Grimaldi's New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations here in the Valley, Summerlin in Boca Park, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on South Rainbow Boulevard, and Green Valley on Southeastern Avenue.
Las Vegas, this is Dan Mullen, the new head coach for your UNLV football team. I'm excited to get started and would like you to join me at Allegiant Stadium next season. Visit UNLVtickets.com to get your season tickets today. Go Rebels.
It's Cofield & Company's Eye on Sports Gambling, presented by Oasis Bar and Grill. Only on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Notre Dame, in a lot of ways, falling to Rockney, Gipper, South Bend, Touchdown Jesus, the Gold Helmets, the Subway alumni, their own NBC contract on Saturday home games. Notre Dame, in a lot of ways, is college football.
That cut is perfect for what Greg was just saying during the break. Let's bring in Brad Powers, who is kind of a Notre Dame guy. Brad, how are you, buddy?
Nervous.
I so appreciate you coming on. I actually was going to text you today and be like, hey, if you don't want to come on during a Notre Dame game, and this is a giant betting game as well, let's just discuss what Notre Dame is to college football. That was Mad Dog Russo on ESPN. That to me, and I described it the other day, that is a New York market take. What is Notre Dame to college football?
Well, obviously, I think, 20, 30 years ago, clear cut, the top brand, and was that way for probably 70 to 75 years, probably from the 1920s through the 1990s. Means a little bit less now, but certainly the sport is better when the Blue Bloods are winning, like the 4 Blue Bloods left in these semifinals. So a Notre Dame win would be good. I think, a Penn State win would be good for college football, just like a Michigan win was good for college football last year. And more geographically speaking, making it more of a national sport than it's been a regional sport the last 15 years, and that region being the South. So I think, if a Penn State or a Notre Dame or Ohio State to a little bit lesser extent, obviously the Buckeyes have had great success. Any of those teams end up winning it all. It's just better for the sport.
Greg, do you disagree? Because I thought you said something going to break. Like, does anyone care about Notre Dame?
Well, I was wondering because earlier you said we were talking about the Cowboys, and you were saying it's not the same anymore where guys just want to go to the Cowboys. If anything, maybe guys, they're a big name from the past, but is Notre Dame still that team, that's coveted team where, like, if you're a coach, you really want to go coach Notre Dame, or is it just mostly based on past success?
I think they're getting closer, and Brad, you can agree or disagree. I think, and again, to go to the beginning, if they win a championship, then yeah, they're back as certainly one of the most 10 coveted jobs. I don't think it's lost much luster over the years. They just weren't that successful, but I still think they're a very big deal.
I agree with that. Maybe they're not the number one program. Certainly Alabama and Ohio State have passed them, even in all-time wins and whatnot. But they're still, come on. People, they're not relevant. But, you look at the TV ratings. NBC and the new contract's $50-60 million a year just to pay to Notre Dame. So you tell me they're not relevant. And, they're still a top 10 program.
That's absurd. Yeah, if you have your own TV deal and you don't have to join a conference, you're a big deal. And back to Russo's comment about New York and Subway alums, like, yeah, college football, of course, wants the New York market. New Jersey, Connecticut, would love Boston, D.C. If you have 40 million people, more than that probably, up and down the coast, yeah, they want all those viewers.
Certainly. And Northeast isn't very prominent college football, but I'll say this. Notre Dame's more of a, Boston, New York market than they are, obviously small town Indiana. When you think Notre Dame football, you don't think small time Indiana. You think more Chicago, Boston, New York, those types of cities.
Believe me, every time I see Notre Dame crossing the border to go into New Jersey and recruit all the parochial schools, it pisses me off. So they're certainly a factor in my home state. All right. The handicap going into this, I'm just going to give mine. I think talent for talent, I think Notre Dame is as good. I think they're a little beat up, but I think they can play power football on the same level as Penn State. And I actually like the quarterback matchup. I like Riley Leonard in a big spot with his legs over Aller.
Yeah, I hear you. It was a tough handicap. I thought the line was about right in your pick. I think if everything was equal, I would have taken Notre Dame, but things aren't equal. They're off a very physical game against Georgia. No disrespect to Boise State, but come on, off of Boise State compared to Georgia. Plus, add in 2 more days rest when you're playing more games than any one of these schools has played in their entire history in one season. I thought situationally they tended to favor Penn State here.
Did you have anything? 1 second. Did you have anything in the game on an individual basis? I don't know that you're traditionally a big prop player, but anything?
Yeah, I bet Penn State money line. I bet a little bit under, first half under. A couple of props you mentioned them. Riley Leonard over rushing attempts, because I don't think Jeremiah Love is going to get much action tonight. He'll try to give it a go. And I like Riley Leonard over rushing yards if he can't get rush attempts. So thought process there was obviously it's do or die. You're not going to run him 15, 20 times against Georgia Tech or Stanford in October. But in these types of games, you're more prone to run Riley Leonard. And when your starting running back is banged up, even more likely to run Riley Leonard. And we saw it just last week against Georgia. So that was my favorite prop bet.
Talking to Brad Powers, presented by Oasis. Try the nachos. Brad, I wanted to ask you about football, NFL a little bit. Selfishly, I want to ask about the Eagles game. I was very confident about this game until we did the show today, and then Steve made me a little bit nervous about this hurt stuff. They have to be just playing around, right? They're just – I don't know why Sirianni does this, but whenever a guy, hits his elbow or something, I don't know, he might be gone for the year. They do this stuff.
Well, it's a concussion, though.
I know. I'm just saying, is that what they're doing here? Do you hear Are you hearing anything more than Steve? Can you help me? I just want Hurts to play.
Something positive.
Yeah.
I am expecting Hurts to play and be close to 100%. I mean, we're not even talking last week on a concussion. We're talking several weeks ago. So
Right.
System should be all good there. And if it is all good, then I think Philly's a sign, not a big bet, but I don't trust Green Bay, right? A banged up team that's not playing their best football. Philly for me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about the other side because Jordan Love has had some knee, leg, arm stuff. Do you think he's probably not going to be 100%, right?
I mean, he's going to give it a go, but I mean, who is 100% this time of year?
That's
He
true.
just played 17 games. So,
Yeah.
I mean, certainly, a little bit banged up against Chicago. I know they lost their, second best wide receiver to a torn ACL, which isn't good, but I expect him to give it a go. But yeah, certainly. And the market is kind of a little bit leery of it because and we saw some early legit money on the Eagles from like 3.5 is racing out. I thought I was going to, get maybe touch 6,
Right.
but a little bit of buyback. Right now, again, at 4.5, I'm on the Eagles.
Brad Powers at Brad Powers 7 up on Twitter, BradPowerSports.com. These are always tough questions to answer, but we're just looking at the facts here. We've got 2 LA teams playing this weekend. Both, I'm sure, are incredibly distracted, are going to be on the move because of the fires in LA. Does that factor into your handicap with either one, especially the Rams, who may not be able to play at SoFi? First with the Chargers and Texans, Chargers 3.
I don't think it impacts the Chargers as much. I mean, you're going on the road, you get your practices in, and maybe you leave a day early and get ready. So no impact there. And we haven't seen the line move too much there. A little bit of what I consider, sharper money was on Houston early in the week. The other game obviously is going to impact it more because you change a venue. I tell anybody, read the rules, house rules, because each book's different. Change a venue. A lot of times means avoided bet. Others will have action. Obviously, you won't have that same home field advantage. Not that the Rams or the Chargers have a great home field advantage there in LA, but certainly impacts some things. There's distractions. Do you have family that's being affected by it? So, yeah, I think it's a negative. With that being said, I thought the Rams were one of the right sides of the entire board this weekend. That was a bet that I made, and a bet that I also teased with the Bills this weekend. I know a very basic, obvious one, but sometimes the obvious stuff wins.
Brad Powers with us. Let's go back to the back end of the college football playoff. This is, this. You really bet. I don't, but I watch it. The recency bias, can I apply that term, recency bias, to the number for Ohio State? Or do we really believe what we saw the last 2 weeks? The ills are solved. Perfect play. Ryan Day is all good to go. He and Kelly, they're in a rhythm right now, and Ohio State should be laying 6 against Texas. By the way, I also have no idea who's going to show up with all the weather, but Texas is 60 miles from home. Ohio State's 1,000 miles from home.
Yeah, a little bit of a crowd edge to Texas, probably. Although Ohio State travels as well as any fan base in the country. I mean, they traveled across the country to the Rose Bowl and had way more fans than Oregon last week. So, you asked the right question because that's basically where you're at on this handicap. You either fall into line with the recency bias, which I tend not to want to do. I tend to gravitate towards the full season, as many data points as I want, the bigger sample size. However, could be a fundamentally different team. They've certainly looked like it. Schematically, they are. They're playing a little bit differently defensively, playing a little bit more cover 2. They're moving Caleb down to more of a rover position. And especially offensively, they're different. I mean, they're totally changed the blocking schemes, running a lot of, counter, pulling their guards, which, sounds complicated, but it's really not. And obviously, you're getting your ball to your playmakers, particularly Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, at least the most talented one. So I am going to fall in the line with the recency bias. I like Ohio State here. I think if they play anything close to what they've done the last 2 weeks, nobody in college, at least these last 3 other teams besides Ohio State, are not coming within a touchdown of Ohio State.
Wow. Talking to Brad Powers. Sorry to jump back and forth here, but I wanted to go NFL on this one because last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, Danny and I were talking to you about the Steelers and how the last few weeks they've gone up against better competition and have gotten pretty manhandled every game. The Ravens, big favorite in this one. How are you seeing that game? Because, the Chargers, to me, just look like they've been dead the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'll say this. This is more me using – I don't have, oh, my God, put a number on this. Right. But we got 15-plus years of sample size with Tomlin. Usually, when everybody throws them in the trash and give them no chance, that's usually typically when they play well. We're talking about a near double-digit point spread in this rivalry that has been close. In fact, this is the second biggest point spread in the last 20 years in this rivalry. So we just saw these two teams play in Baltimore a few weeks ago. The line was 7, so obviously there's been adjustment.